Hey there, Pokemon enthusiasts! Welcome back to our channel, where we dive deep into the captivating world of the Pokemon card collecting. Today we're gonna be talking about Umbreon. Umbreon is one of the most beloved Pokemon by fans and collectors of the franchise. However, unfortunately, it doesn't have as many high quality cards like certain overhyped Orange Lizard. Yes, Charizard, I'm talking about you. Yeah, well, Umbreon VMAX alternate art is one of the most expensive cards, if not the most expensive from the Sword and Shield era. But we are not into that kind of cards today. We're gonna be diving into the most underrated and undervalued cards featuring the ever mysterious Umbreon. But wherever you are a novice collector or someone with plenty of experience, this video is perfect for you. So we'll divide the video into 3 parts. The first part will discuss cards available for under $10. The second part will cover cards under $35, and finally the last part will focus on cards under $100 that I believe have plenty of potential. The first card on our list is going to be Umbreon Black Star promo from Sword and Shield, the promo 129. Yeah, this promo is available on the blisters from Evolving Skies. This one features Umbreon and a Moon, so it's kind of like a mini version of the Umbreon that everybody's hyped for, but this one is way cheaper. So this one is available for $5, and if you manage to get it graded on a PSA 10, it's gonna be around $76. I love Black Star promos, and I believe Black Star promos always hold a lot of potential because the only way to get your hands into it is either buying the sealed product or buying it on secondary markets. But right now we are in an era where everybody is keeping sealed product, so Black Star promo, especially from the new generation, is way harder to find. So yeah, I think this card for $5 it's pretty worth the money, especially if you are an Umbreon collector. This card looks fantastic, so I will definitely add this one to my collection. And moving on to the second card on our list, we have Umbreon GX Full Art from Sun and Moon base set. This card is currently available for around $10 and $11. This is the second full art ever made for Umbreon, and if you manage to get it on a PSA 10, it's gonna be around $80. So basically it has a X8 multiplicator. If you manage to get it on a PSA 10, you will be able to multiply your investment as well. I think this card looks amazing, and sadly we cannot look at the texture from the picture, but this card in real life is an absolutely super cool card. So this one for under $10, I mean Umbreon Full Art GX Sun and Moon, I don't know, you let me know. I think for $10 it's kinda undervalued. So yeah, I think this card is very undervalued, so I'm chasing for this card. Sadly, where I live it's hard to find cards anyway, so yeah, if you are in the USA or in the UK, it's way much easier to get your hands into this card. So moving on, we have the next card. It's going to be from Brilliant Stars Trainer Gallery Umbreon B. So Umbreon doesn't have that many cards with very beautiful art. Normally it's just Umbreon being Umbreon, but this one is around $11 or $15 depending where you get it. And if you manage to get it on a PSA 10, it's gonna be around $47. Of course, the population is actually very high and the multiplicator is not that big, but taking into consideration that Brilliant Star is one of the most expensive and skyrocketing sets from the Sword and Shield era, I believe this card will eventually gain more value with the time goes on, especially when we get more and more product from the Scarlet and Violet era and we get less and less product from the Sword and Shield era. I think this one is a very undervalued Umbreon card, especially if you are looking to buy very beautiful cards that are not worth around $600. This one for $10 to $15 is kind of worth it. So yeah, next card is going to be Umbreon and Darkrai GX. This one is a Japanese card, and this card actually never made it into English if I'm not mistaken. We have Umbreon and Darkrai GX, but not this full art. So this one is actually selling on eBay raw for $20. So yeah, I think this card looks beautiful. And then you have Umbreon and Darkrai, two mysterious dark type Pokemon. So this one is a full art, very beautiful looking card. So yeah, I think this one is kind of worth it to add to your collection, especially if you are into Japanese cards. I think this is one of the most undervalued Umbreon cards from the Japanese sets. Then we move into the next one. We have Umbreon Darkrai GX from Unified Minds. Okay, so again, talking about tag team cards, this one is actually weird that it's just a GX, a normal tag team, and it's not like a full art or something like that, because this one have a very beautiful art. It's kind of like an alternate art Umbreon Darkrai GX, and it's quite cheap actually. It's just $13, and this one is from Unified Minds. If you manage to get it on a PSA 10, it's gonna be around $85. But this one is a very beautiful card, and I believe the art in this card is very underrated. Like, look at Darkrai and Umbreon like ready just to jump into the fight together and beat everyone. I think this card looks amazing, and also is part of Unified Minds, which is a set that have been increasing in value with the time, which means this card will eventually increase in value as well. So yeah, I believe this card is one of the best arts that features Umbreon, very beautiful art, but the price is super cheap. So yeah, I will keep this one under the $10 price, because it's just $3 more. So this one goes into the first category. So moving on, we have Fates Collide Umbreon EX. This is a regular EX, but the art for this card, it's amazing. Like Umbreon jumping into fight, just looking at you like very scary face. I think this EX card is very, very undervalued, especially if you're Umbreon collector. Like, getting into this card is from a very, very, very old set. Like, this is X and Y era. This is almost 10 years ago, right? So this is a very expensive set, and things will get expensive with the time. So if you manage to get your hands into this card before everyone else does, you will have a very, very beautiful Umbreon EX with a very beautiful art, and especially with a very beautiful multiplicator, because this one on a PSA 10 it goes for 130. So basically it's an X9 if you manage to get a perfect card. If you don't manage to get a perfect card, then yeah, it's very sad, but at least you have your card graded. So moving on, we have full art Umbreon EX. Between $25 and $35 you can get your hands into this card, and if you manage to get it on a PSA 10, it's going to be around $365, which is absolutely amazing. This card has one thing that I think is very valuable, that this card was the first full art Umbreon ever made. So during the X and Y era, Pokemon introduced the full art cards, and this was the first ever full art Umbreon art. So I think because of the value of the history that this card holds, for $25 to $35 is very, very, very undervalued. And also this card looks amazing. The colors of this card and the texture of this card, it's absolutely amazing. So I think this card is pretty worth the money. So we also have on our second tier, we have another card that is also amazing. Moving to this card, we have Umbreon GX Secret, also from the Sun and Moon base set. This card goes for around $31 to $35, and this was the first Rainbow Umbreon ever made. Rainbow rares are not coming back and might not come back, so that might be a characteristic of something that people would like to get their hands in the future. Of course, right now people still hate, some people like, some people hate rainbow rare cards, but me personally, I think they look very nice. It's something different, it's something unique, and it might not come back. So getting your hands into the first rainbow rare Umbreon GX for around $31 to $35, I think is pretty worth the money, because in the future, if there is no comeback, you can say that you have the first ever and only full art Umbreon GX made. There is another one rainbow for Umbreon in English, but this one is the Umbreon VMAX. It's not the same. This is the full art, the other is the VMAX, so don't confuse yourself. And yeah, this one goes for around $31 to $35, and a PSA 10 for around $138. And I think this card holds a lot of potential because of the history background. So yes. So moving on to our second tier, we have Umbreon and Darkrai GX Black Star promo. This art is absolutely amazing and absolutely underrated. If you want to get this card, it's gonna cost you around $33 to $27 depending where you get it, and if you manage to get it into a PSA 10, it's gonna be at $250, a great increase in value. And I love this card. This card features Umbreon and Darkrai together with the dark city in the background, and the art in this card is amazing. So this is a very beautiful Black Star promo. As I mentioned before, we are in the era where a lot of people are giving sealed products, so getting your hands into this Black Star promo is going to be more and more and more difficult with time. So this card is absolutely amazing, and I believe is, for me personally, is even more cool the art than the Umbreon VMAX. So now we're going to talk about a few other cards, especially those who are a little bit more expensive, under $100, but these two cards I believe are absolutely undervalued, because these two cards are very unique in one way or other, and I will explain you why now. So the first one I want to talk about is the Umbreon Prime. So lately a lot of people have been starting to collect all the Prime cards, right? So these are kind of like the big head guys, or kind of like the egg head guys. They cannot mention about this in different blogs and different groups. People is collecting these cards because these cards feature a unique design that we never seen, and we haven't seen since the time that these cards launched. During the time that these cards were around, it were actually very criticized, but now they are very rare because they never came back. So right now this card is for around $75 to $80 in TCG Player and eBay, and if you manage to get a 10, it's going to be at $1,800. The population is very low in a 10 because this card is super old. It's very hard to get your hands into this type of cards or this type of sealed product, so the quality of the cards around are not the best. But if you are a collector, a new collector, or a collector with experience, you know that hunting for undervalued cards and for high quality cards in the market is part of the hobby. So yeah, even if you manage to get on a PSA 9, you will still have some increase in value for around $250, and even if you manage to get it on a PSA 8, it's gonna be $90. So basically you have three ways of winning by buying this card, and I think it looks amazing. This is very unique card. I mean, I don't think we're gonna see something like that ever coming back to the Pokemon era, so I believe this card have a lot of potential. The last card I want to talk about is from the fan favorite and one of my favorite sets, and I believe one of your favorite sets, is going to be Hidden Fates. Yeah, and we're gonna be talking about Umbreon GX Full Art Shiny, right? So this one goes for around $89, $100 depending where you get it, and the price for a PSA 10 is around $200. The population is actually very high, 3,300, but I think in the future when we look at these numbers, we will see that 3,300 is actually not that big of the number. Taking into consideration the Pokemon last year just printed around 3 billion cards, and the hobby is getting a lot and more people, this kind of population is going to be actually low in the future. For me personally speaking, I think 3,000 is very low population for the future of Pokemon TCG, and this card have something very special. There is only 2 shiny Umbreon ever printed. The first one is the Gold Star Umbreon, that is one of the most expensive cards that Umbreon have ever had, and it also had the reprint in Celebrations, but I didn't include the Celebrations one because I hate reprints. I think reprints is just like buying a printed copy of the Mona Lisa. It's not the original card, so for me it doesn't hold value. It's like copy pasting an NFT. So this card is the second shiny Umbreon ever print, and I think this one looks amazing, especially because it's kind of like made for the new generations of collectors, from the new people that is looking into something more special, to look at the art and to pay more attention of the quality of the card, the quality of how it looks, the texture and everything. This one looks absolutely amazing, and it's one of the most expensive cards as well from Hidden Fates. But Umbreon GX under $100 I think is quite worthy an investment right now. I think if you are an Umbreon collector and you want to, or you are starting to get cards, it's perfect time to get your hands into this one, especially because you can get 6 of these for the value of the Umbreon VMAX, Umbreon VMAX. Of course there are a lot of cards in the market, but these are the ones that I think that have the most potential to increase in the future. Of course, this is not financial advice, I'm just a random guy talking about Pokemon cards on the internet, but I hope you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment down below, and let me know which one of these cards is your favorite and which one do you think have the most potential.